So Liverpool win another game late, and I'm like convinced at this point that they just wanted to concede that goal so they could come and score a late winner. Every time I'm starting to get excited that Liverpool might drop points, or wouldn't have been drop points because it's a cup game, or might not win, they just still win. And it's so annoying because I would have kind of liked it if Southampton had knocked you out. But look, to be fair to Liverpool, it was a fully rotated 11. I think like some people will say, oh, it's only a 2-1 win, but it was a fully rotated 11. You had Rio Enyimoa playing, you had Trey Ione playing, Chiesa played, he was fantastic, Endo, Jones, Leone, Gomez, Robertson, Mamadashvili. It was a very rotated line that hadn't played together. And I have to say, Mamadashvili, good, Leone, good, Curtis Jones, I thought was good. Chiesa was absolutely excellent. Isak got his goal. Ekitike was good when he came on, apart from that moment of madness. Frimpong, good second half, not great first half, poor first half. Endo grew into the game, but probably could have done better for the goal. Joe Gomez, I like Joe Gomez, versatile player, but he had a howler today. So we're going to break down what we learned from Liverpool 2, Southampton 1. And I want to particularly talk about Leone. We also will talk about Chiesa as well. We've got a few things to say on that Leone debut. So yeah, feel free to let me know how you feel down below, Liverpool fans, or anyone that's watching that's not a Liverpool fan. And let's get into it. So it's another win for Liverpool. They just always find a way to win. Rotated lineup, it's another win. They had a lot of youngsters. Ione, I think, grew into the game. And Yumoa, I think, grew into the game. I think he got a bit more space in the second half. Chiesa was the guy just trying to make things happen. I don't think it was the most amazing performance from Liverpool, but I always felt like Chiesa was there trying to make things happen. And look, Southampton tested Liverpool today. It wasn't an easy game. But Liverpool just had that attacking quality. Isak scored, Ekitike scored, Chiesa a big reason behind both goals. And it stood out. I mean, Slot's, he's got the depth, he's got the quality. He knows what to do. Like right now, if Gakpo doesn't play well, okay, you can bring Chiesa on, or you can bring Enyimoa on the left-hand side. If you need to take Isak off because Ekitike is suspended, you can bring Chiesa on. I look at Liverpool's depth, and you've got Salah and Chiesa for the right, Ekitike and Isak up top, and Gakpo and Enyimoa for the left. And that's very good depth, especially considering they can all play across each other. But I do think Gomez, Frimpong and Endo today were a little off the pace.
Liverpool Football Club right now, I'm probably going to get pelters if I say this. They're inevitable that they're going to win every single game, it looks like right now. And it reminds me of Alex Ferguson's Manchester United. Is Arne Slot building an era of dominance at Liverpool Football Club like we saw at Man City's Guardiola? Guardiola's Man City. Like we saw with Alex Ferguson at United. 7 games, 7 wins. Honestly, I told every single person Ekitike would get a minimum of 20 GA this season, and people laughed at me. Henry, you're talking absolute crap. The amount of comments I had left, right and centre that Ekitike is not that good. Well, so far, it doesn't even look like they need Alexander Isak. The guy's played 8 games and got 6 GA. But you lot don't think he's going to get 20 when he's already got 6. Alexander Isak is off the mark today. And this is the Liverpool team that hasn't even got Florian Wirtz up to speed yet. And trust me, when Alexander Isak can play a full 90 and builds up his match fitness, they are going to be unbelievable. Now, there is 2 big concerns from Liverpool tonight. And one of those is an injury and one of those is a suspension. But before we get into all of it, there will be a Chelsea match reaction straight after this. So make sure you check that out because, boy, we have got to speak about them. Because right now, 4 games without a good performance, with tough games coming up. Brighton, who just won 6-0 tonight in the Cup. Yeah, I might have been wrong about Chelsea.
4-2 Southampton 1, a really big result for Arne Slot in the League Cup. This is a big opportunity this season for Liverpool to not only try and win the Premier League title where they're red-hot favourites, but trying to match that up with a League Cup alongside an FA Cup and, of course, going for the Champions League. This Liverpool side is so dynamic. It's got so much talent on the bench that Liverpool can rotate players to a far higher level than Arne Slot could last season. And mark my words, they'll be looking to win this League Cup and get one over the fact they got to the final last season, obviously lost to Newcastle, and of course Alexander Isak. The news today will be about Alexander Isak scoring his first goal for Liverpool. It's a really, really big moment because big money transfers can get a lot of pressure on their shoulders, particularly strikers and forwards. To get a kind of easy goal against Southampton completely given to him. We're going to break down the goals in a minute. It's completely relieved the pressure on Alexander Isak. Gyökeres had a very similar thing against Leeds at the Emirates. Fernando Torres went game after game after game at Chelsea when he left Liverpool for £50 million. The pressure mounted every single time. So
my work is easy because I use ClickUp. Here's how I keep track of all my tasks. I start by brain dumping everything I need to get done.
The fact that Alexander Isak, essentially in one of his early games for Liverpool, has already scored. He's not fit enough to complete a full set of 90 minutes as it is anyway. To get one goal in 45 minutes is very important, I think, for Arne Slot. And let's be completely real, Southampton, they're not doing too well in the Championship right now. Will still is a young manager. It's his first job in English football. But you have to say, I thought they played some really good football today. Finn Downs in midfield was absolutely superb. Archer was fantastic. Armstrong was superb as well. And they caused Liverpool some big issues. We're going to break down the goal.
Doubt about it. It wasn't vintage Liverpool. It wasn't electric Liverpool. But it was job done Liverpool. And sometimes you need that in the Carabao Cup. Especially with the fact that I think Liverpool got the hardest opponent out of everybody in the Big Six. Southampton, albeit a home game, Championship quality, were just in the Premier League. Always going to be very tough. But I feel as though they navigated it. We've got to think about the players that were on the pitch. Trey Nyoni, Rio Ngamoa, the youth there. Endo hasn't had a lot of minutes this season. You're looking at the back four. Leone's first game. Joe Gomez as well. Minutes for the first time in a long time. Mamardashvili as well. Look, there is reasons for Liverpool not being vintage. Absolutely, for sure. But in that performance, I saw quality from individual players, and that's exactly where I want to start. I want to start talking from the back, actually, in Leone. I think he was phenomenal. He's a Rolls Royce of a centre-half, isn't he? So young, but so assured. There were so many moments where he would sort of make a sprint across to cover for Joe Gomez. And I think Joe Gomez had a very poor game. I think he added to the shakiness to the back four, especially when you're playing with somebody like Leone, whose first start, you want to be giving him the best example. You want to make his job easier. And I actually think Joe Gomez made his job harder. He had to cover more ground, Leone. But my word, that's probably a good thing in the sense that we got to show his real quality. By the amount of mistakes Gomez was making in terms of his positioning and on the ball as well, we got to see the quality of Leone. There was an instance actually where the ball went towards the sort of left-hand side and Leone sprints across and absolutely controls the Southampton player, barges him out the way really. The strength, the quality, the composure, all of those attributes were on show in that one moment. I'm sure many Liverpool fans will remember it. And it had me thinking, like, this is what you want to be seeing from your defender. In those moments where it can get a little bit difficult, can you show the strength, the courage, the ability to fend off your man? And he did in that instant. And also balls that went up long, he was gobbling them up. He really was. He's a huge figure, 6'5", genuinely huge. But the way he deals with the ball, on the ball, is impressive, isn't it, as well? His distribution, really nice. A couple of line breakers in there. Balls out to the right-hand side were good. A cross goal as well. This is a kid who you can tell has quality for sure. And I saw a lot of comments saying the young VVD. Obviously, very early to say that, but you feel the presence. And I think that's the thing with Virgil van Dijk when he plays. You feel his presence, you feel his quality, you feel his sort of commanding nature on the pitch. And with Leone, you can tell he's going to develop in that prototype, that type where you feel assured, you feel confident as they're prancing around the football pitch. And that's huge. It absolutely is huge for the development of Liverpool in the back four, but also in terms of just the Premier League having a quality young defender like Leone. There was actually reports coming out that Liverpool believe they got one of the best, if not the best young defender in Europe in Leone. And I think today we saw the glimpses of quality he has, and ultimately he had to come off injured, which is a massive shame, and it did look quite bad. I wasn't quite focused in on the incident. I just saw him hobbling off.